The HSTV-L was an experimental testbed vehicle designed in the 1970s. The name of the tank stood for High Survivability Test Vehicle Light. With its powerful gas turbine engine, rapid-firing 75mm gun, and incredibly low profile, is this secret 20th century tank competitive in the 21st century battlefields of War Thunder? Alright lads, today I'm going to be talking about the performance, weapons and playstyle of the HSTV-L. Starting as always with the basics, this vehicle is a Rank 7 battle rating 9.7 light tank located in the American Tech Tree. Being a Rank 7 Tech Tree vehicle, it will only be effective at researching other vehicles between the ranks of 6 and 7. To get this tank, you will first have to grind out 390,000 research points before purchasing the tank for a price of 1,020,000 Silver Lions. But wait, there's more. You will then need to add it to your lineup for the cost of 290,000 Silver Lions. You can then additionally purchase the Expert and Ace qualifications for the tank, costing 1,020,000 Silver Lions and 2,100 Golden Eagles respectively. What's something that War Thunder players and DARPA have in common? Cash shortages. Just as DARPA forked out millions for the HSTV-L program, War Thunder players will be paying out tens of thousands every time you die in this vehicle. This is due to the tank's repair cost of 10,354 Silver Lions being pretty costly. Going on to the rewards, this tank has a base RP modifier of 2.32, which gives you an RP modifier of 232% with a free-to-play account and 464% with a premium account. With a base Silver Lion modifier of 1.4, you will be making a steady income of Silver Lions. You can expect a 140% Silver Lion modifier with a free-to-play account and 210% with a premium account. So is it worth grinding out the huge amount of RP for this vehicle? And does it even fill a niche in the top tier USA lineup? To find out the answer to these questions, stick around for the rest of the video. Okay, so like usual, we're going to start with the engine and mobility of the tank. And as you can see, the HSTV-L is powered by a gas turbine engine producing 650 horsepower. Combined with the vehicle's weight of 20.5 tonnes, it gives this tank a power to weight ratio of 31.7 horsepower per tonne. Moving to the transmission, we can see that we have a top speed of 83 km per hour forwards and a respectable 16 km per hour in reverse. You join me now in a test drive, and the first thing I want to point out is this tank does get the ability to neutral steer. And due to the great power to weight ratio, the whole traverse rate is incredibly high, making you incredibly manoeuvrable in tight areas. The next thing I want to mention is acceleration and top speed. You can see that the acceleration is pretty good from the standstill, but as you'll notice if you look in the bottom left corner, on soft terrain such as mud and grasslands, we are unable to reach our top speed of 83 km per hour. We can only achieve our top speed on hard and paved surfaces. Overall, the HSTV-L is a very mobile and manoeuvrable little tank. Its great power to weight ratio allows it to accelerate very quickly off the line and get from position to position or cover to cover. While your acceleration is better than most main battle tanks at a similar battle rating, your top speed however really isn't. While your theoretical top speed is 83 km per hour, I find you very rarely achieve this in most maps. The majority of maps in War Thunder are mainly soft terrain maps such as mud and grass. And on that type of terrain, your top speed is only really around 50 km per hour, which is the same as most main battle tanks. This means that on most maps, you won't really have a mobility advantage over the main battle tanks next to you. As well as the reduced top speed on soft terrain, I also have an issue with the reverse speed of this vehicle. With a reverse speed of only 16 km per hour, most main battle tanks have a faster top speed than you, unless of course they are British. Okay, so next we go on to the armour and survivability, and the first thing I want to point out is this tank only gets 3 crew members. As we can see at the right side of the vehicle, we have the driver and commander. If we move to the left, we have the gunner, and behind him we have all the ammunition in the vehicle. So basically, if you get shot in the left or the right of the tank, you're basically going to die in one shot. The next thing I want to mention is this tank does get hull broken. It means that if you get shot into any of your major modules, such as your gun breech, your engine, your transmission, your fuel tanks, you'll die in a single hit. No matter if it's just a glancing blow or if it's a full body shot, you'll die one hit if you get hit in any of your major components. I already mentioned that this tank has pretty low survivability from the front, and it's not really any better at the side. As you can see that we have the driver and the gunner next to each other. You'll be instantly killed if you get shot here. As we move toward the middle of the vehicle, not only do we have the commander, but we also have the entire ammo rack of the vehicle. So no matter where you get shot, in the side or at the front, as well as the hull brake mechanic, you're pretty much a one-shot kill anywhere in this vehicle. Okay, so now we're going to go into the actual armor performance of the vehicle. We're going to be testing it using the T-72B's Mango round, the 3BM42 at a range of 100 meters, the most likely opponent you will face in this vehicle. Starting as always with the lower frontal plate, you see that we have around 50 to 60mm of armor protection. Next we move to the upper frontal plate, and that does increase up to around 130mm at its thickest. After this we move to the turret, and as you can see, while it is incredibly sloped, it's only managing around 33mm of effective protection. As we move to the side of the hull, you can see that the vast majority of the hull side is made up of only 6mm of armor protection, which does increase up to around 25mm in places. This does make you incredibly vulnerable, especially to 50 caliber machine guns. Moving to the side of the turret, and it doesn't really get any better, with only around 14mm of armor protection. Moving to the rear of the hull, we have around 9mm of protection. As we move to the rear of the turret, it increases slightly up to around 13mm. Overall, the survivability of the HSTV-L is pretty bad. You'll die in pretty much one shot in every single game you play, and due to the hull break mechanic, you'll die in the most bullshit ways. Some of you may find this conclusion pretty ironic, especially seeing as this tank is called the High Survivability Test Vehicle. However, in real life, it received the designation of high survivability due to its low profile and high mobility. Studies conducted by the US Army showed that when tanks were spotted first, they usually died first. Basically, the US Army designed a tank that was incredibly sneaky, and you should use that mantra when trying to play the HSTV-L in War Thunder. You should avoid direct confrontation, hide behind stuff, and basically being an annoying little sneaky fucker. Don't try to trade in this tank, don't try to brawl with this tank. Hide and be patient, and just let the enemy come to you. As I mentioned in the previous segment, the high mobility really does help with this playstyle. You can get into a very strong position at the start of a game, and basically just let the enemies come to you. Okay, so moving on to the armament, we can see that the HSTV-L is armed with a 75mm XM274 cannon. This gun is fully stabilised in both the vertical and horizontal axis, and has very good vertical guidance characteristics, with 17 degrees of gun depression over the front of the vehicle, which rises to 30 degrees over the sides of the vehicle. It also has 45 degrees of gun elevation, which does allow you to engage low-flying helicopters with this tank. You can carry a total of 26 rounds of ammunition, with 6 of those being classed as your first stage ammo. You will also notice that this vehicle has a reload rate of 1.5 seconds, which is incredibly fast compared to most of the other battle rating 9.7 vehicles. This, however, only applies to the first 6 rounds of ammunition, and after your first stage ammunition is empty, you'll have to resupply it one by one, which does take an incredibly long amount of time. Because of this, I would never recommend firing off all 6 rounds of ammunition at once, unless you really have to. Moving on to the weapon reloading skill under the tanker section, and you can see that this skill has no effect on this tank, as it uses an autoloader, which makes it very friendly for new players or people with low skill tank crews. Moving on to the targeting skill under the gunner section, we can see that we have a base horizontal turret rotation speed of 40 degrees per second, which rises to 57 degrees per second with an ace crew. This makes the turret very snappy, and you can engage 2 enemies on your sides very easily. The HSTV-L also has 2 rifle caliber machine guns, one mounted coaxially and one above the commander's hatch. Next we move to the modifications. The thing I want to point out is this tank does get a laser rangefinder as well as thermal imaging. We now go on to the ammunition. You see that we only have one choice of ammunition, and it is the XM885 short rod penetrator. It has a muzzle velocity of 1,463 meters per second and can penetrate 276mm of armour. It's worth keeping in mind, however, that this is a short rod penetrator, not the typical long rod penetrator. The difference between these types of penetrators is that the short rod penetrator has very low post-penetration damage effects. Basically, the round doesn't create a lot of spalling, which is typical with the long rod penetrators found at battle rating 9.7 and above. It essentially makes it very hard to get one-shot kills with this tank. You can think of this round as essentially using APDS rounds at around battle rating 7.3. You'll have to directly hit crew members or directly hit modules to take them out. You just do not have very high spalling with this ammunition. It's also worth noting that the penetration of 276mm isn't that good for a battle rating 9.7 vehicle. You will have to aim for weak spots to get reliable kills. Luckily for you, however, with a reload rate of 1.5 seconds, you can take your time trying to find the perfect spot of a vehicle to kill them. Okay, so you join me now on a test drive, and the first thing I'd like to show you is that you do get a very good field of view with this tank. It allows you to quickly search the battlefield, as well as maintain situational awareness. As I mentioned, this tank does get thermal imaging, both in the gunner's view and in the commander's sight. It is, however, only the first generation thermal imaging, so as you can see, it does make it quite fuzzy at long distances. Overall, the armament of the HSTV-L is rather frustrating. While your fire rate of 1.5 seconds is very good, the low post-penetration damage of your APFSDS round is a very big letdown. To get reliable one-shot kills, you will have to directly hit an ammo rack. You just cannot rely on spalling to knock out crew members with this vehicle. I have mentioned though in the previous 2 sections, that brawling in this tank is not the recommended playstyle. You shouldn't really be trying to knock enemy players out from the front in this vehicle. Instead, get on their flanks and put shots into their sides where they're most vulnerable. Well, you'll probably be pissed off. We're not going to hang around here for much longer. We're going to try and get up there somewhere. There goes our IPM-1. IPM-1. Oh, that T-64 is pushing that hill. The bridge, I think. It looked like he was going that way. I think it's best for us to hold here. If he tries... Oh, we got his cannon. Got him. I apologise to the T-90, couldn't save him sooner. This isn't going to go well. Oof, that was a fucking lucky shot. Managed to get his driver part. Not really spawn camping, it kind of is at the same time. But it is an anti-aircraft vehicle. Target undamaged. Target undamaged against a pissing anti-aircraft gun. Can't even notice his upper frontal plate. Got him. T-72B. I think he's an Xbox player. I think there was another one there. We are pretty low on ammo. Just 1 round in the magazine. The best situation to be in. How to tank the BMP. He knows I'm here. I've got a dick all armor, so I'm not even going to risk that. Oh, you wanker. Well, we should get a spot. We should get a kill assist from our Leclerc. Yeah, that's an AMX-40. Sorry. I have no idea what he's doing. He's kind of mag dumping in an AMX-40. He just really doesn't like whatever that is. Right, so they have a MI-24. Is that an enemy tank? Yeah. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Is that MI-24 dead? Yeah. So that's 6 kill the game. Kind of spawn camp that. Tunguska, but we have 3 caps. Most of the team's dead. What else is there to do, really? That AMX-40 is still shooting. What is he doing? Is that alive? Yeah, I'm not even going to be able to kill that guy. Maybe that. Well, how is he still alive? He's been mag dumping a 20mm cannon for about 5 minutes. He just doesn't give a shit. The Chad French person. Where the shit is it? See what I mean? Like, you just cannot one-shot people. It is ridiculous. You have no damage at all with that gun. If that was any other tank, that'd be a one-shot hull break. May as well be shooting a fucking BB gun. Okay, so welcome to is it Alaska? It's T-64B gun, but I think there's the Type 69, the Chinese premium. I think that was him there. We scouted him, so he's gonna fall back. No point really pushing, because we can't do anything. Hear an engine behind me. You sneaky little bastard. Well, no surprise but sex for you, I'm afraid. Hopefully. There's a guy there. Just hits, nothing of course. This gun is absolutely useless. Absolutely no point at all. Absolutely. Oh well, there we go. This gun, I said, you just can't rely on it. Not at all. Right, so we first got our T-72A. There's a T something right there. Can't really do anything until like I'm spotting him on the map, but this Arietta isn't doing shit. And that T-72B, he doesn't have to do anything to me, he just needs to hit anywhere and I'll get a hole broken. So I'm not even going to might be get baited. No, I got kill assisted. Oh, I can't do shit because of that bastard there as well. Even with my great gun depression, I can't do anything against him. That's a T-80B. Might try it. Got him. Oh, that's a T-72 right there. Got him. Is there anyone else on this road? Don't think so. Now, don't really want to push anywhere. But I'm just gonna do it anyway. So there's a chrysanthemum hiding in the... Is that my engine or...? Got him. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Oh, I got him as well. Ooh, this is spicy memes. Now, there's another guy there. I can hear him. I can't see shit. Oh, he's there. And I get a spot on from the team. Oh, everyone's dead. Fantastic. Oh, he's fired. One smoke. Oh, don't shoot. Got him. Oh. My butt cheeks are pretty clenched. Come on, acceleration. Acceleration, please. So, we're going to try and get on a vantage point. Commander in his breach. See, it's so... There's absolutely Like, no. There's no damage with this gun at all. Post-penetration damage, basically 0. And we're dead. Oh, we scouted him. Yeah. Oh, we got him as well. Must have been a stock T-72B. So, 7 kills, 2 assists. Not bad. We did have a pretty good attack up this road, but then everyone else died, so what can you do? Got another T-72. Well, the guy that just killed me, I think. I don't think we're going to be able to get into cover here. We'll try it. No, we missed the cross there. Holy shit. Wow. Can't see what I'm fucking hitting. What am I hitting? Got his turret ring. Oh, come on. How do we trade? How do you trade in top tier tanks? Fucking heater fest. Wow. Fair enough. 8 kill game. Pretty good by normal standards at least. To conclude, I don't believe that the HSTV-L is really worth your time. For a start, the US has no real lineup at battle rating 9.7. All of the Abrams variants start at battle rating 10.0. This essentially means you have to up tier the vehicle to have an effective lineup with you. While the tank does have gun mobility, which in my opinion does make up for the tank's poor armour and survivability, the real deal breaker for me with this tank is its weak and unreliable gun. The reload of the gun does allow you to dump a lot of rounds downrange if need be, but due to the short rod penetrator, you really do need to pump multiple rounds into an enemy to reliably kill them. You could argue that the HSTV-L does fill a niche in the American top tier lineup, and you'd be right, it does, but maybe that gap existed for a reason. You already have 4 variants of the M1 Abrams, a main battle tank distinguished by its high mobility. Do you really need a designated light tank? I don't think so. The HSTV-L does make for a nice late game vehicle, when the enemy is already thinned down and you can exploit the flanks a bit more, but in the early game, it is much more effective to spawn in a main battle tank. That is my advice, both for gameplay as well as grinding the American tech tree. By all means grind out the HSTV-L, but only after you've unlocked all the Abrams variants. As always lads, I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you very much for watching.